Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update. So excited to get to our messages and themes for this week ahead. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. My name is Rebecca Meisel, and I love to tune into the energies of each week as we move into our next little 7-day period here to understand what to expect, what's coming forward for us as a collective, and what energies are present. So to dive right into our reading today, we have our first theme of clear vision. So this was super interesting. What I really was getting with this theme right off the fly is a lot of us are finally seeing the truth. So perhaps the past few weeks have been very illuminating to our shadows, to the illusions we might hold in our lives, and bringing this awareness of what's truly going on behind the scenes, because so many of us have these very strong subconscious belief systems that have been really running the show. And so I really was hearing this week, we are finally seeing them for what they are, where it's like, wow, okay, I have been a slave to this mentality for most of my life. Or wow, I'm starting to really bring awareness to my shadows and where I'm self-sabotaging or keeping myself in a state of fear. And this illumination has been so needed, and that really continues this week. So we're finally seeing things clearly, and now that we're seeing things as they are, it's time to take action and do the work. So what was really coming through here was the shadow work. So a lot of us, if we've been doing that, we're illuminating these illusions. Now it's time to put into practice changing these perceptions, changing these subconscious beliefs, especially around judgment and regret and guilt. So these are very dominant themes and emotions that might come through this week where we're getting this illumination specifically. So where have we been guilting ourselves? Where have we been self-punishing? Where are we judging? And where are we still holding on to things that are ready to be let go? So what came through was, where have you faltered? Where can you allow yourself to shift and change and do better than before? Kickstart your new vision and make your own rules. So once again, we might have been illuminated to some of our seeming mistakes, okay? So I say seemingly because, once again, there are no mistakes, but we might be judging ourselves for making a seemingly mistake in our life. So say we had this illumination to, last week we had a big theme around money. So where we've maybe mistakenly placed our money and put that stream of energy, and now we're being called to course correct. So where can we do better? Where can we start shifting now? And where can we start really putting to practice this new vision for ourselves and our new rules for life? And this was so cool because, once again, it comes back to this driving force of authenticity. How can we become more in alignment with who we really are and our true belief systems now, right? So it says, kickstart your new vision and make your own rules. Release guilt. Forgive yourself and others for their transgressions against you. Forgive your human programming. You were not meant to be perfect. Give up on doing it all and doing it all right. You are so much more than you give yourself credit for. Allow yourself to see the glory of yourself and your success. So this was so beautiful because, once again, it's giving us this theme of forgiveness this week, where it's like, okay, yeah, we made mistakes. Yeah, maybe we could have done better in these certain areas, and maybe we've had those tower moments. But now is not the time to wallow in that, and now is not the time to criticize ourselves for that. Now is not the time to continue to beat ourselves up for where we faltered or where others have faltered in our lives. Now is the time to make a plan and strategy towards moving forward. So once again, we're really getting this awareness of like, okay, let's heal this. Let's move on from this. We are now creating a firm foundation for our life. life. Let's get to it. Let's get to this next step. So once again, we might have some grief that comes up this week where we're needing to do a little bit of that healing work. Maybe those shadows might peek up again where it's like, oh, I see you, there you are, right? And we might have these experiences this week, but it doesn't mean that we have to fall victim to them again. It doesn't mean we have to continue through that process. We can let go, and we can go in with that intention when we're healing and we're feeling these emotions. We can go in with that intention that we're ready to let this go. We're in it to heal it. We're not in it to just wallow and stay in that repetitive cycle of guilt, of self-shame, and self-punishment. So this is where we're shifting things this week. So we're letting go of these human programs. So what really came through was the conditioning that we've had through society and through our families. So there was a lot of that coming forward this week where we're going to have this illumination. Okay, society told me if I do this, this, and this. My family told me if I do this, this, and this, or I am this, this, and this, then I will be successful, then I will be accepted, then I will have X, Y, Z. And we're bringing this awareness to that is not true. Everything we've been fed, we need to unlearn and start finding the truth for ourselves. What is true for you? How do you want to live your life? What rules for life have you been abiding by that really aren't real? Right? We're getting this very strong awareness and becoming aware of what we truly believe now, who we are now. So we might have this awareness this week that comes through, and it's really cool because they're showing me someone that's kind of been between spaces. So back and forth, maybe in confusion, maybe not sure what choice to make, what belief system they are going to choose now. But what keeps coming through is maintain your integrity. Keep choosing the choice that really resonates with you as an individual and your soul, right? And we need to start choosing belief systems that we really want to positively reinforce. So this week we have to do this work. We have to do the due diligence. And it's going to be work because a lot of us, it's so much easier to stay in our patterns and stay in the way of society, the way of our family, what we're familiar with. So we have to break this ego that we are dealing with right now and move beyond it. So once again, we might have these feelings of fear, of feeling unsettled or unsafe or confused when we're faced with choosing new. But what we're really being called to do this week is keep choosing the new. Keep choosing yourself, okay? You're never going to regret choosing yourself. And what's beautiful is as we forgive these old programs and where we have maybe fallen short in our lives or where we've held on to these belief systems that didn't serve us, we're freeing ourselves of the guilt and judgment that we've had. So remembering that it's okay to not be perfect. Remembering that we do not need to do everything right and everything perfect every single time. We're here to have experiences. We're here to make mistakes, and that's how we learn and how we grow. So allow yourself to let go of the need to judge yourself this week. Allow yourself to really start praising yourself when you do well, praising yourself from where you are right now, that you are in this pivotal moment in your life where you are choosing yourself, where you are choosing authenticity. You are breaking these cycles and these programs that you've had for years of your life that maybe have been passed down generations. So we are really moving mountains this week, and we have to stop minimizing the healing work that we're doing, the shadow work that we're doing, because it's extremely powerful. So allow yourself to see the glory of you and what you are doing. Now we're going to have these moments where we're really going to be in this, I almost want to say fight or flight response, this survival mode, because once again, when we get in fear, When we're about to choose something new, we can get in that position where it's like, oh my goodness, I need to prepare. I need to keep myself safe because this is unknown territory, right? So once again, they're showing me the shields coming up, these guards coming up, the arms in front of us ready to strike, where it's like, okay, I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for any negative thing that comes my way because I'm prepared. I've become this warrior. And so what came through was lay down the sword. Stop fighting. Allow room for vulnerability and love. So this was beautiful because so many of us, that's all we've ever known is the battle, is the fight, is the struggle in life. But this is not the chapter that we are creating now. We are creating a fresh new way of being. We are creating a brand new life for ourselves. And this is very, once again, pivotal in our journey right now. So for those of us who've been doing the work, who have been healing, who have been becoming conscious of our patterns and starting to see the truth, we are starting to understand that we no longer need to fall victim to these mentalities anymore. And that includes this need to constantly battle and fight. We're learning that we can trust the universe. We're learning that we no longer need to struggle, okay? In the sense of we don't need to propel that energy. Right? Yes, we're going to have challenges. Yes, there's going to be bumps in the road. Life will never be perfect and seamless, but that's the beauty of it. And we have to start embracing that regardless of what has happened previously to our current situation. That is not going to repeat. We're a new person now. We're choosing new. We're understanding the beauty of our challenges. We're understanding the lessons that we're needing to learn. And as we get this bird eye view of life, the more we start to empower ourselves from life. So there is no more need to keep fighting. See, you are safe right where you are. Okay, so there's a lot of healing that's happening, especially in the root chakra, that we've been seeing dominantly through the past few weeks here. So our homes, our safety, our security, our finances, all of these things are going to be very highlighted, those basic human necessities. And guess what one of those necessities is for human life? It's love. It's nurturing. Those are foundations. That is part of our foundation for life. So we're going to notice this come through even in our relationships and how we are feeling safe in our relationships and how we're feeling safe when it comes to receiving love and being vulnerable with those around us and in our life. So there's a huge leap of trust and faith that we are taking this week that is very vital and necessary for our growth. And what I keep hearing is the universe is there. They're literally showing me a child leaping forward to be caught by their guardian, their parent, their loving parent. Those hands are outreached, ready to catch you. And we need to keep taking this leap this week. Recognize that it is safe for you to be loved and to receive love now. So once again, we might notice these shields that we have up in this very symbolic way where we're not allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, where we are not allowing the free flow of love to come into our lives. So we need to once more lay down the sword, lay down those shields. It is safe now for you to be vulnerable and to share yourself with this world. So we're going to see this very much reflected in our relationships this week, but also when it comes to our own relationships with ourselves. So what channeled through next was pour love into your wounds. Tend to yourself like you would a good friend. What do you need now? What can you do for yourself now? And they're showing me this security, right? So it's like we're in this safe space where we can actually feel right now. And this week, we're getting that opportunity to really feel. So in this space, in this energy that's coming forward for us, there might be a period of stillness. There might be a period of slowdown where we're being called to really honor ourselves and honor what we feel, whatever that is, as things come forward for us. And I'm really feeling it's going to surround those themes of judgment, of guilt, of where we've held on to these false programs. We have to become disillusioned. And once again, when we have those tower moments where things just fall down, where our perceptions of the world and what we thought was true and real shatter, we have to have that moment where it's like, oh my God, okay, this is gone. This is what I believed for all of my life. And now all of a sudden, that belief is gone. So you might have moments of shock. You might have moments of, I've got to process this. I've got to process what this is going to mean for me. And we're going to have emotion that's triggered from this, right? So maybe we've had these big events. Maybe we've had big shifts. They're even giving me this example of a positive shift where maybe you've gotten a new job, but this new job is making you realize you're in a totally new space in your life. You're in totally new territory that you're not used to. And maybe there's going to be emotion with that. Maybe there's going to be a grieving of the old version of self, the old way of being this week. So we need to see that we're safe to feel those things right now. And we need to give ourselves that encouragement and the space to do that healing and feel what we need to feel to heal, okay? So the biggest thing to remember, give yourself love. Give yourself the tending and care and nurturing that you would give your best friend. Show up for yourself this week through that vulnerability. Give yourself the silence, the space, the attention, that love that you need. It's so critical. And what was beautiful is we're experiencing this complete honoring of our former selves and of our past versions of self, where it's like we're no longer going to be judging that former version. We're going to be looking back at that individual of who we once were with love, with admiration, and going, wow, look at all that you did to get me here. Look at everything you have done to get me to where I am now. And it's so beautiful because as I'm recording this lands on Canadian Thanksgiving. So how can we give thanks? How can we have gratitude for everything that we have done, everything we have accomplished, all the hard work, all the struggle, all the hurt, all the pain that we endured to get to where we are now? How can you take a moment and give yourself the beauty of gratitude and thank that former version of you for everything that it's taken and done to become who you are? So we need to honor ourselves. We need to honor our experiences and the toughness that we have gone through. There's a lot of emotion that wants to bubble up here and surface. We need to feel it. That is the only way we can set ourselves free. So we're really being mindful this week of how we view ourselves, our perceptions of ourselves and our past, but also how we are speaking about ourselves and our past selves. Okay, this was very interesting. Words are powerful. So this really came up strong. How can you utilize the power of your voice and how you speak about yourself and how you speak about others this week in a very impactful way, in a way that doesn't tear down, but in a way that honors yourself, the person you want to be, the person you're becoming, and individuals in your life. So we need to be very conscious. There's a reason why when we write it's called spelling, because our words are spells. So we need to speak only lovingly about ourselves. We need to really be mindful of how we are utilizing our voice and how we are speaking about our past experiences. So what really came through this week is we might have this energy of negativity that will come in. And take what resonates here. But what I'm really getting is we might get these moments where we hit these lows of emotion and we're feeling cranky, we're feeling overwhelmed, we're feeling tired because of all this shadow work we're doing, all of this awareness that we're bringing in. It's a lot. So honor that, but make sure you don't stoop to a level where you are now just negative about everyone and everything and yourself, okay? Because what I'm hearing is some of us might want to start gossiping this week. Some of us might want to put other people down because we're needing this feel-good moment for ourselves. We're needing to feel enough. And so I'm hearing this little warning here this week. Be very mindful of how you speak, because people are going to be extra sensitive, including yourself. So be very mindful of how you speak about others, the words you use, and also the words you use when it comes to yourself. How are you speaking about yourself? Are you putting yourself down? Are you criticizing and judging yourself every chance you can? How would you describe your former self? How would you describe yourself now? Okay, these are things we need to be mindful. So one thing they're showing me is when we get up in the morning and we look ourselves in the mirror, what's our first thought? Is it like, wow, you look like a wreck. You look tired, right? We might have those initial impressions. But what I'm really hearing this week we need to be very mindful of is those perceptions and how we speak to ourselves. So really become aware of your inner dialogue this week, because once again, this is where the inner work begins. It begins within our thoughts of self. It begins with our perceptions of ourselves. So we need to stop ourselves the minute we start judging. That applies to ourselves and that applies to other people. Because once again, we're in a very strong manifesting time as well. So we need to be very, very diligent. Okay? So release the need for negativity, gossip, and criticism. Focus on the good. Okay? So then we move into this beautiful theme of release work. And what's very interesting that came through was journal and bed. That's what I literally heard, journal and bed. And what came through following up of this was our dreams. So we need to be very mindful of journaling what we are dreaming, what we are experiencing, the emotions that are surfacing. This is all part of releasing. And so I'm really hearing our subconscious mind is going to really speak to us through our dreams when we are more adept to getting that information. So what channeled was dreams are important this week. They will point to and reveal hidden truth, depth, and emotion. Pay attention and be warned. Life outside may appear messy, but hold true to yourself and your inner vision. Okay, so this was very cool because once again, our dreams might come through sometimes in ways that we're not super happy about. So as an example, when we get that dream, when we're super stressed out that our teeth are all falling out, right? That's a very common dream that a lot of us will get. And it happens when we're very stressed. So sometimes these dreams come through and they're not super pleasant. We might be like, oh my God, why did I dream this? Or why is this coming up? But the biggest thing I'm hearing this week is be very mindful of the emotion these dreams invoke. So pay less attention to the situation that's happening in the dream and focus more on the emotion it brings forth for you. So if we get this strong emotion of fear, or if we get this strong emotion of dread or guilt or grief, whatever these emotions are, that is being triggered and coming to the surface for purging and release. So be very mindful. What are your dreams telling you? What hidden information is coming through in this way for you? And how can we be very mindful of this? And once again, they're showing me that a lot of us are getting bombarded by the external world right now. Those stories are super powerful and super strong. So once again, a societal story might be, the world's not doing well. Things are always bad, right? These are things we might constantly be actually conditioned to and programmed with. And we might be fed a lot of stories this week regarding negativity. Now, we need to be mindful. We sometimes are subconsciously getting this, so we're not always aware that we're taking that information to heart. So what I'm getting is this week we might have dreams that are going to reveal to us that fear we actually have about the world, about where things are moving, with those external circumstances. Okay, so this is where this channel to pay attention and be warned. Life outside may appear messy. Okay, so we might actually be internalizing that. We might be taking those energies on. So I'm hearing we might get illumination to this. So once again, what stories are we taking? What programming are we taking? What messaging are we constantly engaging in and taking on as our own, even on a subconscious level? So this is where our dreams are going to be very helpful, because they're going to help us pinpoint what stories we're listening to, whether we're aware of them or not. So they're going to bypass the ego for us and help us get to the truth this week. So I'm really hearing journal, journal, journal. Write out everything you get and be very mindful of the messaging that you are receiving. So what channeled right after this was relinquish your fears of the future and what may lie ahead. Focus on the here and now. Self-care is needed. You need to be looking after yourself this week, okay? So what really came through is, once again, get present, get grounded. Don't let these fears run away with you this week. Be very mindful of when you are feeding into fear and any narratives that are preaching fear. So I do hear some of us literally need to stop watching the news. Some of us literally need to take a step away from those stories that we are hearing and getting bombarded with. And this is important because, once again, what use are we if we are in a state of fear and victimhood to life? What use are we? What can we positively do for this world if we are powerless and afraid? So once again, we need to get on this. This week, we're going to have a lot of these things come to the surface. So we need to be very conscious of when we are caving to victimhood, when we are caving to old programming that's just meant to keep us small. The very best thing we can do for ourselves is remain empowered, to remain grounded within ourselves and who we are now. So if we get old fears that visit this week, if we get stories that were told externally this week, where are you placing your attention? Where are you placing your personal power and integrity? Okay, this is coming through very stern because they're showing me almost this wake-up call where it's like, snap out of it. Snap out of that fear. What is that doing for you? That is not loving for you. That is not helping this world. That is not helping you. How can we retain and re-establish this firm foundation of empowerment in our lives this week? Okay? Now, that doesn't mean to bypass your feelings. If you feel fear, feel it. Honor it. Go, yeah, okay, I'm afraid. But then go, okay, what can I do about it? Is there anything I can do in this moment to shift out of this energy? What can I do to empower myself? Is there anything in my control right now that I can take an action on? Or do I need to surrender this? And where can I put hope and faith and trust that the universe knows what it's doing? The universe has got my back. Why would the universe send beautiful star seeds, beautiful light workers to Earth if it didn't have our highest good in mind? Why do we have angels? Why do we have spirit guides that are here to help us? If the universe didn't care, if the universe wasn't already making sure that light remains on Earth, that the Earth pulls through, that humanity is sustained. So be incredibly selective with what stories you are feeding into this week and if they're really true. So what I heard was question everything. Do not take anything at face value this week. Hold true to yourself. Hold true to what you know is true. And if you lack clarity, ask for it. Ask the universe and your guides to help you get illumination around whatever it is you are fearing, whatever it is you are curious about or confused about. And let it go. Let the universe show up for you and give you the answers you're seeking. Okay? So relinquish fear. And really look after yourself. This is so key. This has been coming through so strongly the past few weeks. Make sure you are looking after you. Be your best friend, okay? Now, what comes through from this is relinquishing control. Wait and see. You are seeing the truth. And positive things are resulting from this. So I'm really hearing this week, don't get caught up in what's happening externally. Don't get caught up in what's seemingly the truth. Once again, we need to focus on ourselves. Focus on your inner world this week. What is possible for you? What can you do? What shadows are coming forward to heal and release? And how can we really make the best of these energies? So I'm hearing this week is the perfect time to declutter, to release anything that's not serving you, and that includes physically. So I'm seeing a lot of us do a deep purging. We're going to be cleansing our homes. We're going to be clearing the energies. We're going to be getting rid of things and donating things that we don't need. We're getting rid of anything that does not serve us, that is not going to help us in this next chapter of our lives. We're getting rid of it. We're clearing out the toxicities. So once again, we might have things come up to make us aware. Ooh, that's toxic. Ooh, I don't want to keep that around. And they're even showing me like a corner of our home. We're just like, I hate that corner. I don't like it. I need to shift it. I need to change it. And we're going to do that this week. We're changing the energies. And this is empowering for us. We're clearing the clutter. So this is going to come through in so many different ways for all of us. So it's going to be clearing our financial worries. It's going to be clearing our friendships and the toxicities that are happening in those friendships or in our dynamics, our environment, our work, our careers. Where are there toxicities? Where are things needing to shift and change? In our homes, right? So all of these different ways, we're going to be getting awareness of where we need to let go to really give ourselves this full, fresh start. And the rewards are amazing this week. So we're actually getting a lot of hope that's shining through. They're just showing me like this white light where it's like, okay, the white light at the end of the tunnel. I'm seeing that I'm going in this positive direction. And I'm not alone. They're showing me the angels right now coming through, helping us, going, hey, what about this? What about that? So we're also going to get a lot of divine inspiration this week, where we need to move ahead, where we need to be focused, where we need to put our attention this week. So as we clear the clutter, the more we get this awareness of what's important. So all of this is so necessary so we can really start moving into our purpose, into what lights us up, into full integrity and authenticity, and to believe in ourselves, okay? So what's coming up here is this lack of belief that we might have come through as well. So when we get in that mindset, we need to remember, right, God gave me this purpose. The universe gave me this purpose. It placed me here. I volunteered to come here. Why? Right? Remember your why. Why are you here? What are you here to do? What are you here to be? And don't lose sight of that this week. Have confidence through God confidence. Oh, the universe wants me to do this. So if it wants me to do this, that must mean I'm meant to do this, right? So don't lose hope in yourself. Don't lose confidence in yourself. Oh, right, I'm here to do this. Otherwise, why would I have the desire? If I couldn't do it, then I wouldn't do it. The universe wouldn't put me here to do it. It wouldn't place the desire in my heart. Right. I'm here with this purpose. And what is it going to hurt for me to try? What's it going to hurt if I did start believing in myself? So it's amazing what we're seeing. So what came through as our final theme was workshops and repairs. Repairing the mind and refocusing our thoughts. So positive affirmations were very highlighted here. And this awareness of our mind and changing our stories. And once again, they're giving me this example of us wanting to reject these new stories that we're trying to implement. So once again, be very mindful. Where am I getting in my own way? Where am I rejecting these new belief systems? And so as an example, believing in yourself. That might be a hard pill for us to swallow. After years of doubt, of years of self-criticism, of years of never believing we're good enough, to instantly flip that switch, it takes time. We can't just magically let it land in us. So we might have moments where we're going to want to reject that truth. But it doesn't take away that that's the truth. Right? So we need to keep repairing our minds. We need to keep reaffirming through positive affirmation, through our inner thoughts, and saying no and rejecting those old stories and old ways of how we lived our lives. So important. So what can help us? Surrounding yourself with positive people, surrounding yourself with a community, surrounding yourself with positive information. So I'm seeing reading books like Louise Hay. I'm seeing socializing with soul family and people who believe in you, who make you feel good about yourself by choosing only to watch and partake in uplifting material. okay? These are all things that feed our subconscious. So the more you are focusing on positive things and positivity about yourself, the less time you're focused on the negative. So how can you fill your whole day as much as possible with positivity, with love, with beauty, right? Stop dwelling and focusing your energies on what's not working. Let that go. If it's not working, it's not working for a reason. You're not meant to be there. You're not meant to be focusing on that. What are you being called to focus on right now? So I'm seeing some angels very prevalent this week. So we have very strong 2 angels specifically here. Archangel Jophiel, helping us see the beauty in our lives, helping us transmute those negative thoughts to beautiful, powerful, self-uplifting thoughts and feelings. So call on Archangel Jophiel to help you see the beauty in yourself this week, the beauty in your life, okay? Archangel Michael, very dominant this week. It has been the past few weeks, helping us once again remove negativity, remove negative energy, as well as reinforce empowerment within our lives and empowering ourselves. So please utilize these 2 archangels this week, including Raphael. Raphael just popped in here as well. So with Raphael, helping you heal, right? Helping you heal these patterns, these cycles, and really moving into this state of unconditional love for yourself. So overall, we have a very action-packed week. We have a lot that we are shifting through and moving through, but it is so beautiful and so needed. So don't lose sight of the need for these experiences, the need for these shifts and changes. And remember to take very strong responsibility this week of your perceptions and how you are viewing and experiencing these things now. You are so powerful, more than you could ever realize, my friends. So make sure you are empowering yourself in the best of ways. If you need help through these challenges this week, if you need support, if you need positivity and love and hearing personally from your guides this week, please connect with me. I have some session openings and sessions available. So if this is something that calls, please connect with me. Sending you all so much love and light, wishing you the best week ahead, my friends. Bye.